Hi, I'm Shane Coolball. I'm here with Shavonnia Corbin-Johnson, a fellow Young Dem and the candidate for the 4th Congressional District of Pennsylvania.
Got you a cupcake. It's a beautiful cupcake from Catalina. She has a cupcake stand in the marketplace of New York.
Okay.
And I wanted to give it to you.
Oh, thank you.
It's Boston cream. I hope you enjoy it.
I'm not sure if the camera can really see it, but this is your second time on Coffee with Candidates, so...
Yeah, another show.
Yeah.
I'm a veteran at this.
Yeah, absolutely. We still have to do Dancing with Democrats, like we
That's
talked about last time.
I'm excited. Don't worry.
We had a couple different little things that we were going to do.
Don't worry. I remember about that one.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. Got my dancing shoes ready.
All right. Are they? Yeah, well, you
no,
should,
not today.
Well, those are some cute shoes. I don't know if they're dancing shoes. So, I already know a good bit about you, but tell the viewers who didn't catch the last Coffee with Candidates a little bit about yourself and your campaign.
Oh, okay. Cool. So... I guess I'll speak to the camera then.
Yeah.
So I'm Shavonnia Corbin-Johnson. I'm running for the 4th Congressional District. I was born and raised here in New York, Pennsylvania, so this is my home. For the most part of my life, I was raised by a foster family. When I hit the age of 2, the courts ruled that I would spend 1 week with my mother, 1 week with my father, 1 week with my foster family, 1 week with my grandparents, and I did that from 2 to 10 years old. When I hit 10 years old, I was later then raised by my parental grandparents, who I lived, my parental grandparents, like my grandmother that I was talking about earlier. Just to give a little background of who they are, my grandfather was a World War II veteran, fought in Battle of the Bulge, and my grandmother is a minister, and she's been doing prison ministry work for about 35 years. So I always had the service gene in me, just really didn't know, I guess just didn't know it when I was younger at the time.
Or where the niche was.
Exactly, where the niche was. But my family always instilled in me the importance of knowing what's happening in your country and what's happening around the world, and also the importance of education. So fast forward, I got a fantastic scholarship to go to Georgetown University. I honestly didn't even know what college was before I ended up going to college, but the mother of my best friend said, you need to go to college. She's pretty much said, I see something special in you. I think you need to go to college. And so she helped me apply to schools, and I ended up going to Georgetown. Did my undergrad there. Sophomore year, Senator Casey came, the Democratic Senator of Pennsylvania, and I walked up to him and said, "Hi, sir. You don't know me, but I'm a first-generation college student from York, Pennsylvania, and I want to intern for you." And it worked, and I got an internship with the senator, graduated Georgetown 2 years later. After graduation, I started my master's degree, and then also got a call from Senator Casey's office, and they said, "You were a great intern, come work for us full-time." And so I did. So I worked full-time for Senator Casey on the Hill while doing my master's degree full-time at night in U.S. foreign policy, studying India, Pakistan, and the Middle East at George Washington University. While also working for the senator one day, I got a phone call from the White House, and they said, "Hi, Shavonnia, we've heard good things about you. We want you to come work for the Obama administration." And so I did. I left working for Senator Casey and went to work for President Obama, where I served as advisor and assistant to the director of the Office of Management and Budget. So, I guess it's a trajectory I never really realized I would have in life,
Yeah.
To grow up on the poverty level here in New York, Pennsylvania, and now you're the right hand to the man controlling the $4.1 trillion budget. Or exactly. Or, going from a foster house here in New York, and now you're working for the White House, the most powerful house. And so it's something that, I'm humbled to have that experience. But what I wanted to do is use the skill set and use the knowledge that I gained in D.C. and to help the people of my area. I'm from York. I'm born and raised here. I love York. I love my area. I spent a lot of time growing up in Gettysburg and Harrisburg when I was younger. And so to come back home and to be able to, fully invest in service to the people and the place that I love is an opportunity that I couldn't let pass by.
Absolutely.
And, Representative Perry is in the office now, but he doesn't represent the Democrats in the area. He doesn't represent the Republicans. And he honestly doesn't even represent a lot of the, like I said, he doesn't represent a lot of the Republicans that we have here. So once you lose your own personal base, sir, it's time for you to go.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to use the skill sets and the knowledge that I gained from actually creating and helping to pass and defend policy on Capitol Hill, and wanted to use that to the benefit of the people in my area. I wanted to make sure that we actually got a representative who created policies to prioritize the 4th District.
In light of yesterday's tragic school shooting in Florida, what are your thoughts on gun control? It's relevant, unfortunately, right now.
Yeah, it is.
I was watching it with Jason this morning, just crying because I saw the video that someone snapped during it. It's devastating.
Yeah.
To keep seeing it again and again.
And then you get posts from, your elected representatives that say, our thoughts and prayers are with you.
Mm-hmm. It's not enough.
It's not enough.
Appreciate it, but it's not enough.
It's not enough. And honestly, I really want to know if they're actually thinking and praying for these people. They're probably not. They're probably not even doing that.
It just sounds like a reflex thing to say, but it doesn't have any sincerity behind it.
It's a nice way to bypass what you actually want to say.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Representative Perry put a tweet out yesterday and said, Florida, my heart and thoughts are with you at this time. And that was it.
Yeah.
It's saddening, and I didn't post anything on my campaign page because I was waiting for President Trump to give his comments, which was supposed to do at 11 o'clock today, so I want to go through all of them and see where I want to actually post for my campaign page. But on my personal page, I just posted something really simple, and I said, "Dear Congress, human lives are greater than campaign donations."
Mm-hmm.
And it's honestly just that simple for me. I don't understand how people can still get thousands and thousands, and even some people like John McCain is getting millions of dollars from the NRA, and yet somehow these campaign donations are taking priority over human lives, over the lives of high schoolers and elementary students and people going to movie theaters and people going to concerts outside in Vegas, but yet campaign donations are just taking away the preciousness of human life, and that's troubling for me. I respect the Second Amendment. We have it here in our Constitution, so I definitely respect the Second Amendment. But it's definitely time that we look at it and see how it applies to
the modern times.
Exactly, our modern times.
Have changed. You have to evolve a bit. You know what I mean? Still preserve the Constitution, but protect people.
Exactly, our modern times. One thing I will say is that every state has gun laws, but currently states aren't implementing their own gun laws. We need to start from there.
Yeah.
We need states to actually implement their own gun laws to begin with. I'm also in favor of, gun safety and gun safety training. Before people, operate a motor vehicle, they have to usually go to driving school. They're usually taught by their parents or something of that nature, You
don't just give it willy-nilly.
Exactly.
And that's how it is with
guns. Guns are also machinery. And so there needs to be some sort of gun safety training, gun safety, also storage training, because you'll see that a lot of killings that happen are little toddlers who are just going around their house. They see a shiny object and they grab it, and that's the end of that.
They don't know the difference between a play gun and a toy gun.
Exactly. And so we need to have, gun safety training for people who do own guns, but also safety storage, so we can completely eliminate those accidental events where it's just kids going around their house, but because their parents didn't properly store their gun, now they're without a child. And I'm pretty sure if they could properly store their gun and get their child back, they would. So we need to address the gun issue here in America. I mean, it's just I don't know, you hear people say, nothing can be done about it, but we keep saying that nothing can be done even though it continuously happens again and again and again, and we need to work together.
Can be done.
Yeah, this doesn't need to be a partisan issue. It needs to be a Democrats and Republicans coming together and actually talking about how can we improve gun safety in America.
How can we preserve the Second Amendment right, but also still, care for our people.
Exactly.
But the dialogue needs to be created.
The dialogue needs to happen right now. It's not happening.
Yeah.
And once we get the money away, I believe dialogues can start to happen.
Yeah, they keep saying now is not the time.
Yeah, now's not the time to politicize it. Now's not the time.
When will it be?
We're honoring these victims. Now's not the time to talk about it. But we don't talk about it until something happens.
Yeah, solutions don't come without conversation.
Exactly.
And for our next topic, what do you think the federal minimum wage should be raised to, and why?
That's a good question. Let me start by saying we need to raise the minimum wage. Currently, the minimum wage in Pennsylvania is $7.25. No one can live off of $7.25.
Yeah, if you're working 40 hours, then after taxes, that ends up being like $600 to $700 a month. That doesn't even pay for ridiculous. A decent place to live.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I believe the minimum wage should be raised. That I would definitely say. Right now, people are striving for a $15 minimum wage. I'm not against that. I'm definitely for that. But what I know is that we will definitely need to take incremental steps to work towards there.
Yeah.
Today going from $7.25 and tomorrow being $15.
We still have to think about the small business owners.
Exactly. And I am very in favor of small businesses. I'm very in favor of, the spirit of entrepreneurship and innovation. So we have to think about a lot of the small business owners, but for mega corporations like Walmart, like Target, they can afford the $15 an hour. I have no sympathy for them.
Absolutely.
So I would be very in favor of $50 an hour for them. For the small business owners, I believe that we need to compensate them with a tax credit that goes off their rate. So right now small businesses and large corporations are being taxed on the same rate, but obviously small businesses are generating a lot less income than major corporations. So if we want small businesses to pay the people more, which I do, I believe that we should somehow subsidize their tax rate, which is good. It can also help the business grow. It can help get people to get a higher income who work for them. And the U.S. is actually not losing that money. Not a lot of money. So I think that'd be a good solution. But 15 is definitely what we need to work towards. People say 15 is a lot. It's actually not that much. If people want to know what the minimum wage should be, it should be actually like $31 an hour. And I'll say that I think I read recently the average renting price in the U.S. is like $1,200 or so per month. And if you're going to spend 20% of your income on your rent, as people advise you do, you're going to need about $30 minimum wage, $30 per hour. So 15 is a great start. Let's start with 15. Let's move from there. But $7.25 is that's a shame. And Pennsylvania is one of the last states in our area to actually raise the minimum wage. Ohio's done it. New York has done it.
It doesn't make Pennsylvania look like a place you want to stay. You want to still travel over to Ohio or New York.
Maybe for that reason, maybe we are experiencing a brain drain in a lot of places in Pennsylvania. By increasing the minimum wage, maybe we can keep people here. Maybe we can bring more people in. Pennsylvania is a beautiful place to live. But I think people definitely need to get their fair share of income here.
So my next question is, do you support the legalization of recreational marijuana at a federal level?
That's a great question. That's been a hot topic recently.
Yeah, it has been in all the the state races and everywhere.
Yes, I do. I do. I have seen, personally and, tangentially what medical marijuana can do for people. And it's astronomical, people who suffer from seizures or schizophrenia and different types of disabilities with medical marijuana, it doesn't, to be blunt, as some people, it doesn't make them high, People say they want to take this.
Typically they're suffering already so much that it almost just feels baseline to them.
People say they want to take it because they want to get high. No, incorrect. Let me just scratch that right there. But it, like you said, it can relax them. And if you've ever seen someone, with, constant seizures or something, and then they have no medical marijuana, it's like night and day.
Yeah.
It's night and day, but it's calming for themselves, for their nervous system, for their bodies, and for their family members who worry every single time that they have a seizure or a different type of attack. It's a great calming mechanism, and I definitely believe that we should legalize medical marijuana.
Oh. But what about a recreational level?
I mean, I'm not against it. I won't say I'm not against it. The thing is like, here's the thing.
All right. Break it down for me.
Here, let me break it down for you. If it does not become legalized, people will still smoke it.
Yes.
And that's and this is what I think many people are missing. They say, once you legalize marijuana, the marijuana intake is gonna go up. It's people are gonna start smoking it more. People are XYZ. That's probably not true.
I'm willing to bet that people are still going to be trained to act as if it's illegal
Exactly.
and conceal it and kind of have respect for others who
Mm-hmm.
may not be all about it, but
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't really change a whole lot.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen it state by state.
We've seen it state by state. We've seen it where in Colorado and Washington and state and a few different places. The intake has not increased that much. And it actually has generated a lot of income.
That's where I was going to take it next.
It's actually generated a lot of income into the state. So marijuana is different than crack cocaine.
Yeah.
It's different than heroin. And I think that's what people are trying to align it with.
Mm-hmm.
They hear, it's a drug. Oh, it must be, this must have the same effects as heroin. Must have the same effect as cocaine. I will say, alcohol is a drug. Alcohol is considered a drug, but it's legal once you hit 18.
And personally, I think it's more destructive.
Much has a lot worse repercussions, I will say, than marijuana does. If anything, marijuana calms you. You're not really.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to move afterwards. It's still going to be a part of certain groups of society.
Yeah.
If anything, by legalizing marijuana, recreational marijuana, it will increase a lot of the income in individual states, and it will also decrease a lot of criminalization in states.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure if people know, but it actually costs a lot of money to incarcerate someone.
Absolutely.
And if marijuana is legal, the decriminalization rate will definitely drop, and you'll actually be saving the state a lot more money while generating more money. And so if you see my trend, the state's getting a lot more money to use where you can put towards taking care of taking care of the elderly and creating better nursing homes, or having parks for children. Where are the parks going? Or having good education and moving that money back into the buildings, education buildings. If people are really afraid of it, maybe we should do the same thing we do with alcohol, not legalize it till you're 21 or so, or 18.
I agree with that.
That's fine, but the repercussions from recreational marijuana being legalized are very, very minimal.
I agree. All right, so healthcare. I didn't really have much of a question prepared for it, but just the topic. Healthcare. Thoughts.
Healthcare.
How can we make it better?
Let me say this. I worked for the Obama administration, and my boss released the Affordable Care Act. I know the Affordable Care Act is not perfect.
Yeah.
As a former staffer, as someone who had to sign up for the plan, I know it's not perfect, and I'm not afraid to say that. But what I do know is that it was a great first step.
Absolutely.
One, in creating this dialogue, and showing the gap that we have in this country, and saying, hey, we do need to talk about healthcare. So the ACA was a great first step. I am in favor of healthcare for all. I'm also in favor of Medicare for all, and that's what I want.
That's the direction I think all Democrats are trying to get towards.
Exactly, and that's where I believe we need to go. Now, let me be clear. I don't believe we should fully rip out the ACA and try to, instill healthcare for all the next day.
Think about the people who are in the program right now.
Exactly. That would just create a big hole, and people would fall through, people who are insured, people who are not insured, XYZ. I think we need to take incremental steps to working towards healthcare for all. And so with the ACA already in place, we have millions and millions already insured. Now let's make sure that their insurance is, directly applicable to their situation. Let's
Yeah.
make sure that people can, now afford to pay their rent and also get their prescription. Wow, wouldn't that be
foreign concept for a
wouldn't
lot of people anymore?
Exactly. Wouldn't that be a great thing? People are able to go to the hospital and also, buy food for their children. So that's what I want to work towards, is healthcare for all. That's our ending goal, and we definitely need to start making steps to get there, but we already have the ACA in place. Instead of starting here, we're now starting here.
Yes, we have the foundation to keep building up.
Let's keep building up, and that's what I want to work on when I get to Congress.
Pie or cake?
Oof.
That's a tough one, right?
Gosh, these get harder and harder.
Right, they will. And a lot of them have to do with food. I haven't had lunch yet when I was making these questions.
I'm gonna have to go with cake.
Cake?
Yeah.
I think I lean towards cake,
I love chocolate cake. If I had to choose anything, it would be chocolate chip cookies.
Chicken or beef?
Chicken or beef? I'm a chicken person.
Froyo, I don't know why I use the word froyo. I kind of hate myself right now. Or ice cream.
Froyo or ice cream? I'm gonna have to go with froyo. I like frozen yogurt. It makes you feel healthy.
Yeah.
And so you eat more.
Yeah, and it doesn't leave the same feeling.
Yeah.
You don't get as full as quickly. So, and the toppings,
oh yes, you can pile on the toppings.
Beer or wine?
Beer or wine?
These are I have to say, I like that it's taking you longer to answer these than the questions on policy. Like, I got policy
my policy questions, I know my policy.
Froyo or ice cream? That's a hard one.
I have not changed my policy since day one. Ask me the first day I campaigned, I was for healthcare for all. Now it's I don't even know. I'm still healthcare for all. I'm still, this, still that. Like, I have not changed my policies, but these questions, wow.
Yeah.
These change with the times. That's it. Beer or wine? I'm gonna have to go with wine.
Wine.
Yeah. The Rotary Club of York sponsored me to go to France for a year.
Oh yeah, so you
after
had
I graduated high school, and I think that's probably also the first time I drank because I was living in France. But it was just.
Were you under 21 then? Isn't it 18?
Yeah, it was 18 in France.
Yeah,
it was 18 in France. I know.
Right.
La, la.
I think that's a little bit better. People get it out of their system younger.
Honestly,
I know that's how it was for me.
But so I was the first time I pretty much drinking, and I was living in France, and I was so hesitant to, but my host dad said to me, he's like, "You want to learn French culture, like you have to drink the wine." And man, this man would literally have like 5 wines at the table. He's like, "This one is for apéritifs, which is like appetizers, and this one is for dinner, and this one is for second course dinner."
I love that. I don't drink anymore, but I think that's so cool that they put the time to think about which wine will complement which food.
Oh yeah, we would go between 5
That's how the Italians
wines.
are too, where I work.
Yes. And so I gained a deep appreciation for wine.
Yeah.
And, because of that. I remember my last day living with that host family. My host dad came to me, he said, "Okay, we're having like this X course meal, like first round will be this, second, third, fourth, fifth. Then we're going to have dessert. Then we're going to have, just like listening to music and talking afterwards." He's like, "Choose wine to go with all of this." And he literally just pushed me into a store.
So you got to pick.
I had to be able to match.
It was like a little test to see what you had learned in your time there.
Exactly what it was.
Did you get an A?
I did.
Oh.
I did. He was like, "These are all fantastic." He was like, "This course I probably would have chosen this one instead of that one," but he's like, "This is a good second choice." And I was like, "Yes." Nailed it. So yes, wine. I would go with wine. That's why I would go with wine. That was the longest answer.
Hey, these are tough questions.
These are hard questions.
This one actually is even harder. Cats or dogs?
Ooh.
I mean, I love both, but I'm a dog person.
I know. I missed the dogs today.
I know. I'm sorry.
I got a selfie with your dog.
Yeah.
And your dog never takes selfie, but I got a selfie with your dog.
Zoe? It was Zoe, right?
Yeah, last time. I have a great selfie. I said, Zoe never takes selfie.
You might catch them before you head out.
Okay, well, hopefully they come back. Yeah. Cats or dogs? I'm going to go with cats. Because
I'm worried you're going to alienate voters with these answers.
Her policies are fantastic, but her answers in the fun question part.
She's a dog gal. Oh no.
I just don't understand how she chose cats. No, I'm gonna say cats because they can take care of themselves.
That's true. Sci-fi or rom-com?
Jeez.
Right.
How about?
This one was just, I don't know where it came from.
How about rom-fi? Psycom.
Like, would that be would Star Trek fall into that?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure
Or Battlestar? I've never seen Battlestar, but
honestly,
I've heard of it.
Sci-fi or rom-com? My movie taste is interesting.
Yeah, or is it not one of them?
I probably would say neither. I'm not really a rom-com type of person. Also, sci-fi, like Star Trek and stuff. It's cool, but not really my thing.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of war movies.
Oh, okay.
You know, like
I wouldn't expect
Saving Private Ryan.
I've never seen
Those are my movies. Like, I love those movies. I don't know why, but I just love.
Well, they have a lot of
war movies.
A deeper story than, and it's usually historically.
Yeah, I like historical movies. My friends think it's weird.
National Treasure, is that the one where they steal the Declaration of Independence?
Yeah, something like that way. But I like historical war movies. You know, if they're accurate, the more accurate, the better they are.
Yeah.
But even the ones that are semi-accurate, for example, 300, which it had some accuracy in it, but this became theatrical. I love that movie. Those are my type of movies.
So this relates kind of to that. Netflix or Hulu? Where do you watch your war movies? If you have to pick one.
All right, I'm going to say Hulu just because Hulu is what I am looking at now. So I don't watch a lot of TV, but there are some days, when I get back from the campaign, maybe 11 p.m. or something, I was like, I just kind of want to watch something mindless and go to TV. Go to sleep. So there's 2 shows I've been watching on Hulu. They're the most random shows. One is House Hunters International.
Okay.
Have you ever?
No. I was gonna say it sounds like an HGTV.
HGTV is. I love HGTV.
You can get lost for a day watching that.
I will never be able to afford anything they have on HGTV, but I love watching it. But there's a show, House Hunter International. They also have a U.S. branch one, but this one is usually about Americans who decide to move overseas, and they have to find an apartment to buy or rent. It's literally it. And so the real estate agent will show them 3 different apartments or 3 different houses, wherever they're looking for, and then they say, I don't like the first one for this reason, I don't like the second one for this reason, I don't like the third one, but I'm going to choose the second one. That's literally the whole premise of the show.
I would probably be consumed by it.
There is absolutely no intrinsic value for myself in this show, but I absolutely love watching it. And the second one is a show called, I think it actually got an award or something. It's called Bob's Burgers.
Oh, yes.
Every millennial loves that show.
How can you not? It's so funny.
Bob's Burgers, people watch shows because they can see themselves in a character. People watch Bob's Burgers because there is 5 characters and you are not any of these characters. You're
a little bit of each, kind of.
You're a little bit of each.
You're a different one of them every day, depending.
Exactly. You're a little bit of each, but then at the same time, you're not any of them. And, it's just interesting. But I love the show Bob's Burgers.
Love it.
It's absolutely fantastic. So, again, there's no intrinsic value for me watching the show, but it just makes me laugh, and that's usually the last thing I do before.
Last one, iPhone or Android? Well,
iPhone for life.
Right,
iPhone. Same. My friends make fun of me because I'm iPhone for life. I have MacBook, iPhone, iPad, everything.
It just works better. It just does.
Your whole life is synchronized. I love that. I can text people from my laptop. I love that. My friends always say, if iPhone made a flip phone, you probably would buy that too. And I said, yep.
Oh yeah.
I'd be back on flip phones.
I would love that actually. If they made it somehow still itself, but in flip phone concept, so we can go back to the days of angrily flipping shut.
Yes, if they made the battery even better, I would definitely be iPhone. But I'm definitely an iPhone person.
Last question. It's this works though, because I know this is one of the answers. How can people get involved with your campaign?
Awesome.
Besides your website?
Yeah.
Your Facebook and everything?
Yeah, so people can get involved in my campaign by going to my website, Corbin-Johnson for Congress.com. You can also write to us on our Facebook page, SCJ, the number 4, PA. We also have Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, so if you reach out to us in any of those methods, all of the username are SCJ for PA. And my team and I, we respond really quickly. So you can go to the website and email us through there, or go to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and get us through there. And my team and I think our response rate right now is like 24 minutes or less. So we're
quicker than the pizza man.
We are faster than pizza. You can reach your hopeful representative faster than you can order a pizza. Exactly.
Man, that's your new slogan.
Honestly, that's actually, I didn't realize that. That's actually true. Wow. That's a pretty good response rate. Yeah. No, but no, definitely if you want to get involved, if you want to volunteer, donate, make phone calls, write a song, whatever you want to do.
Write a song.
Someone actually approached me about that today. I'm pretty excited.
Always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Shane, for having me.
Of course.
Oh, I love hugs.
Right.
Thanks, Shane. Thank you all. If you have any questions, please reach out. Together we can move the 4th forward.